Hi everyone, welcome back. Guess what? Big news. I have officially been diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome. Yay! Not yay. Last week I had an appointment with the chronic fatigue clinic, and they went through like all the symptoms and everything, and they were basically like, yeah, you definitely have chronic fatigue syndrome. So that's basically that. Um, and it does seem a little bit quick, but it's not really. I mean, the whole like diagnosis process does seem a bit quick, but like I've been going back and forth to the doctors about this for like a long time. I've had these symptoms for like about 14 years or something now. So it's not been quick for me. It's been quite of a long journey. But the assessment process just seemed a little quick. I guess that's because I've already had so many tests in the past that they didn't need to repeat them all. And they did do some extra tests, and then I had to fill out loads of paperwork and stuff. So yeah. Anyway, it's nice to have an actual answer now, even if it's not like the best answer. I mean, it would have been nice if it was like something they could just give you some pills for and it just be like cured. Yeah. No, instead I've got something that will probably be with me for the rest of my life. And there's a possibility it could get worse. There is a possibility it might get better, but it's not likely. So yeah, fun. So yeah. So basically, the doctor recommended that I do the pacing thing. She said I have to rest for at least 10 minutes every 1 to 2 hours, which I managed for like the first couple of days, and then I've not done as much as I should have done. I keep forgetting. Also, sometimes it feels like all I do is rest, and then other times I'm just so busy that I don't really have time to sit down and just do literally nothing, because that's what she said. Like, put the phone down, put the games away, turn the TV off, and just literally just like sit there or lie there and do nothing for like 10 minutes, which feels like an eternity and is impossible to do, especially when you've got kids and there's just like so much stuff that needs doing, and like, I don't know, it's boring as well. I mean, my body might shut down, but my mind doesn't. It just keeps going when I'm trying to rest. And like, apparently, mental fatigue is just as bad as physical fatigue in some ways, and especially for me. Like, I find if I'm like doing stuff like physically, I don't need to think as much. So then I guess I'm mentally resting. So yeah, like trying to lie down or sit down and rest when my mind just refuses to switch off, that's not gonna work. If my body's tired, then I can sit down and rest. But if my mind is tired, then sitting down and resting is like the worst thing I could do. So I don't know. I'm still figuring it out. Yeah. So anyway, I've got another appointment with the doctor in a couple of weeks or so, and we'll see what they say then and if they're going to do anything else to help. I don't know. I think I'm already doing everything that could be done, like with the diet and stuff, and I've already tried meds and things. So, like, what else is there to do? Yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll see. Anyway, when I was in the appointment, the doctor described chronic fatigue and some of the symptoms in a way I've not heard before. And I know there's quite a lot of different theories out there about like what it is and what causes it and stuff. And I think everyone's got like a slightly different like idea of how it all works and everything, and no one like fully knows for sure. The doctor said basically like my body doesn't have enough energy to do things. So when I try and do things, my body tries to conserve energy by trying to make me stop doing things. And it does that by throwing a lot of symptoms at me to try and get me to stop. And that kind of makes sense in that, like, when I'm doing stuff, I start getting weird symptoms. Like, when I start moving around, I get really, really, like, hot and overheated. I get really breathless, even though I'm, like, just walking. Recently, I've started to get quite nauseous as well. And my legs will shake and things, and I'll get, like, pain in my feet. And it's like I get all these symptoms, and then I want to sit down or stop whatever I'm doing. And the doctor said basically that's my body's way of trying to get me to conserve energy. And like even things like getting headaches when I'm like doing mental activities. Like I might pick up a book and then I'll just get a pang in my head. And then I'm sometimes, like, if I'm holding a book on my phone, I'll get pain in my hands. And they're just like, these symptoms just like start randomly and then they just disappear randomly. Sometimes they linger for ages and other times they just disappear like straight away, and it's very weird. So yeah, I mean, it's good if that's what that is, because like now I know what it is, I can stop freaking out thinking I've got some kind of tumor or something. And I guess like I can sort of ignore some of those symptoms as well. So like if I'm doing something really important and I start getting like pain in that part of the body, I know there's not actually anything wrong. It's just my body's trying to get me to stop, so I can just like ignore that symptom, because like I know that what I'm doing is important, whereas my body's just like, you need to stop, and it doesn't really care whether what I'm doing is important or not. So like it's like my body doesn't see the long-term benefits of things, like shopping, for example. Like if I need to go and get food, like healthy food and stuff, which is like good for your body, then I'll like go to the supermarket and I'll get that. But then I'm using up like mental energy and like physical energy, getting all of that. So then my body will try and stop me from doing that because I'm wasting energy. But like I can see the long-term benefit of like getting all this healthy food, because like my body needs all these like vitamins and nutrients and whatnot. So, protein and things. So yeah, so then like I can ignore some of those symptoms because I know that it's gonna benefit me in the long term. Like, yeah, I might be like out for a few hours after I get back, but like then I'm eating decent food, so it's worth it. So yeah. Another person described chronic fatigue, like the fatigue, they said that our bodies don't get enough oxygen to the muscles, and that's why we have no energy. And I suppose that's why my muscles feel really weak. Like even back when I could do like weightlifting, it just felt like my muscles had no energy in them, even though like had muscles. It's just like it felt like it didn't, if that makes sense. And I guess that makes sense, especially with like feeling like there's not enough oxygen in my body, especially like in my brain. It feels like there's not enough oxygen getting to my brain, and the brain is a muscle, I guess. So like that would make sense, if our body, if like our muscles aren't storing and using oxygen properly like they're supposed to, then like then that will make sense that I feel like my body doesn't have enough oxygen in it, which would explain why my body is like, you need to breathe more. But then when I breathe more, I end up feeling really dizzy and lightheaded because there's too much oxygen. But I guess the oxygen is staying in my blood instead of going into my muscles like it's supposed to be. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just guessing here. I'm not a doctor, so yeah. So I don't know. Basically, now I've got a diagnosis. I can start focusing on, I don't know, getting better, or like just managing the symptoms as best as I can, and hoping it doesn't get worse. So yeah, I've been watching a lot of videos and trying to just like get my hands on as much information as I can to just get some answers, or just like read up on things. And like the more you know, the more you know. Shut up. So yeah, basically that's sort of like my update and sort of big news, but not necessarily good news, because I kind of wish it was something better, but at least I've got answers now and I don't have to keep panicking that I've got something life-threateningly wrong with me and I'm going to drop dead at the next moment. So yeah. Anyway, thanks for watching. See you later.